Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Kingsway Baptist Church podcast. We're located here in sunny Orlando, Florida, and it's my pleasure to have the pastor of Kingsway today, Pastor Enric Richards. We appreciate you joining the podcast today. Please like and subscribe for more. We're here to give you insights into the Word and how you can apply it to your life. We're going to have different podcasts. This one today is a minister's perspective. We're also going to have women's view, men's view, and even children's view, because they say out of the mouth of babes, you never know what you can learn from them as well. But today is a minister's perspective. So we have Pastor Enric Richards. Welcome, Pastor.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Certainly appreciate the time and appreciate the ministry.
Yes, thank you so much. And first, we want to get just a short backstory of how you became the pastor here at Kingsway.
Well, briefly, it's a long story, but the calling of the Lord, I think, is the priority number one. My thinking initially was that this was not something that I personally wanted, or felt that I didn't feel like I was going to be a good fit. But then as time went on, it became clear that this is what the Lord wanted. Whether I wanted it or not, it certainly was what the Lord wanted. It became quite evident that this is the place that God wanted me. Yes. This is the church that He's called me to minister. And so once I became convinced that this was of the Lord, then I certainly surrendered to the will of God. And that's over 30 years ago.
Wow.
So it's been quite a journey. Seen a lot of changes. People come and go, but God continues to move us on, and we're grateful for all that He is doing in our church and in the leadership that He's called me to.
Yes, amen. And I'm a member here too. My name is Makita Benjamin. I didn't introduce myself, but I'm a member here too and have been here over 15 years. Been a really long time, but it's been a pleasure to be here and to be under your servitude as well.
Amen.
Yeah, so today we have an impromptu question for Pastor today. You've been doing a series on the Prodigal Son, which has been very riveting, and I really love your perspective, your different perspective about the Prodigal Son. But during your messages, a thought popped into my head, in which, in the beginning, you were saying that the younger son went to the father, and he asked his father for his inheritance before the father was passed. And the father divided and gave it to them. So he didn't just give it to the younger son, he gave it to the other son.
Yes,
So from that perspective, I know the Bible doesn't say too much about the older son except for when the younger son was coming back. But what do you think about your perspective of him also receiving his inheritance? What's the underlying message there? Like, should he have accepted it, or why do you think that he took his inheritance as well?
That's a very good question, and I had not delved into it from that perspective, but I think it was a custom, a practice, a tradition. Once he started dividing the inheritance, he just went ahead and did it for both. Since the young son asked for it prematurely, before time, he went ahead and just followed the tradition, and the practice was to give it to them after he had passed. But since the young son asked for it, I think he just went ahead and did the whole thing for both of them, as opposed to, and that's my perspective. I have not checked into why he decided to give them both their inheritance at the time. My only thinking was that because of the custom, because of the practice, because of the tradition, once he started down that road and gave the young son his position, then he went ahead and did it for both of them. And that's my thinking. And I have to check further into that to see whether or not there was some reason for him to include the older son, even though it was just the younger son who asked for it. He just did the whole thing once and for all. because of a practice, and that's my thinking.
Yes.
But I have to check further into the reasoning that he included his the older son.
And do you think from your studies as well with that older son, because when the younger son came back, the older son was kind of upset that, hey, you're doing all this for the younger son. I've been here with you forever. How does that apply possibly to us in life, where we feel like maybe we're doing everything, but someone else gets the praise and the recognition?
It's like the Mary and Martha syndrome. You know, the one thought, well, I'm here doing all of the work, and who is getting the attention now that Christ is here? It's a basic sibling rivalry. He thought that he deserved, he thought that the younger son did not deserve any of what the father did when the son returned. And so he was hostile, he was resentful, he certainly was very much upset that he was there all these years, complying with, obeying, and doing what the father has asked, serving the family and all of that, and this young man was out living it up, immoral, iniquity, sinful life, and now he's come back. He did not deserve any of what the father did, and so but he was resentful of that. As it applies to us, is human nature basically. Is that if we think that we are treated unfairly, we're here all these years and we're doing all of this and good works and this and that, the other thing. This young man who was not here, who was not a part of working, serving, building, and now he's gotten all of the recognition, acknowledgement. It's just not fair. I think that's what is the older son's point. This is just not fair at all. But one has to think of the mercy of God, the grace of God. If God were to deal with us that way, we don't deserve anything. We're not worthy. But God, through His grace and mercy, and I think that's the picture that should be understood here. One should think of the grace of God, the mercy of God. Because of His mercy, He sent His Son lovingly, who gave His life for the world and for all of us, undeserving as we were. And even so, the younger son was undeserving of what he received. That older son should have thought of this is what God has done, and this is what God does to the undeserving, to the outcast, to the downtrodden.
And he should have been happy his younger brother came back.
Well, certainly he should have. He should have, but no, selfishly, and that's human nature, self-centered, selfish, and thinking of himself. He should have been in that position. He should have gotten all of the glory, the accolades, and all of that. And the father put it out on the younger son. And so he felt cheated. He felt that something was done to the younger son undeservingly. But none of us deserve any of that. As you were asking, how does that apply to us? None of us deserve any of God's mercy, God's grace, God's love, God's compassion. We don't deserve any of that. But God poured it out on us regardless, sinful as we were, and fallen as we were, ungodly as we were. God poured out His mercy and grace and love in spite of who we were. And that's a picture of these two young men, the younger one and the older one. The older one felt he deserved, the younger one felt he did not deserve, but yet the father loved him, showed compassion, and certainly showed mercy.
I love that. Sure. Well, thank you so much.
Well, certainly. Maybe I talked too much.
Oh, no, it was great. It was great. Yeah. Thank you so much. We love that perspective. And we look forward to hearing more from you. Yes, definitely. So certainly, if you liked that, please like, subscribe, and share. We'd love to have you be a part of our family here. And if you're in the area in Orlando, Florida, come and visit us also at the Kingsway Baptist Church, Orlando. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.